Hi, I'm Carol Andrews, and I'm here to talk to you today about building a positive work environment and retaining staff in the equine industry. I'm the owner of Wimbledon Village Stables. I've had it for 44 years. So, as a child, I'd always dreamt of having a stables, and in 1980, that became for me a reality. The team is what makes the stables, though, and over the years, I've had some incredible people working for me. Many have stayed for several years, and in fact, with the current team, the average length of time they've stayed is 9 years. So I'm pretty proud of that. I want to share with you today what I've done to create an environment that ensures that I have happy horses, a happy team, and happy riders. First of all, I thought you might just be interested a little bit in the history of the stables. So we believe we're the oldest riding stables in England. This is a fabulous old picture. The Dog and Fox pub on the left-hand side, that was built in 1776. It was a coaching inn on the London to Brighton coach route. And the stables, which is at the back there, down the end of the alleyway, if you like, the last two doors, that was where the horses were kept. This is a photograph of the front of the Dog and Fox, where you can see a coach coming out onto the road, where we come out onto the road now with our horses. It became a riding school in 1919. It was bought by William Kirkpatrick there on the right-hand side, and that's him sat on his horse in the same position that you'd seen me holding my horse earlier. And we bought it from his daughter Jean on the left-hand side in 1980. There's actually a fascinating page on our website if you wanted to read it about the history of the stables. It was written by a local historian, Richard Millwood, and he went right back through time to see the history of horses in the whole area, and then finally focusing on the stables. It's very interesting. So then a little bit about our location. So on the right-hand side, you'll see the little dot, and the little dot is our tiny, tiny yard. Behind the front of us there is the Dog and Fox, and we're right on a busy junction at the roundabout there. It's the A219, the main road that we have to go up, which has got double-decker buses going up and down it. And actually, although it is a major route through London, it is actually, we feel, quite safe to ride on because the traffic's always going very slowly. There's a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit anyway, but traffic can rarely get faster than 10. We've got equestrian traffic lights, and we've also got flashing lights that we have on when the horses are on the road. But, once you navigate the high street, literally 2 minutes up the road, you've got this incredible riding country that you can see in the map. It's Wimbledon Common and Richmond Park. Wimbledon Common, 1,400 acres. Richmond Park, 2,500 acres. Absolutely beautiful. And in fact, when you see the riding, it's really hard to believe that you're so close to London. And it's really not that busy, which is what is quite surprising about it. So we've got wonderful woodland tracks. So even on hot summer's days, the horses are protected from the sun. And on the wetter, wilder days, you've got the cover of the trees to protect you from the winds. There's a wonderful old windmill there, historic windmill that we ride past. Lovely open plains as well, where we can canter. And on the bottom left is our super arena in the middle of the common. It really is wonderful. So just to tell you a little bit about our stables and what we do, we're very, very small, a very tiny area, as I said. There's just 20 stables there. We have 18 working liveries and 6 full liveries. So if you're good at maths, you'll work out that 24 horses won't fit into 20 stables. And that's because we're always turning horses out. There's a rota where horses go out on a Monday and a Friday. Horse boxes come up and take horses in, horses out. They go on a 10-minute trip to the 70-acre Manor Farm stables that's in Claygate, Surrey nearby. And what we offer is we offer 1-hour rides on Wimbledon Common, 2-hour rides to Richmond Park, and with no arena on site, all our lessons take place in that lovely schooling arena that I showed you in the middle of the common. So whilst that might not sound ideal to many of you, we actually love it because it means the horses have a lovely hack down to the ring. They have 30 minutes in the ring and then a 15-minute return journey where they can relax and cool down. It's also a very sociable time where everyone has a good old natter on the way up and down, which is lovely. There are 7 full-time team members and 4 part-time teachers. We also have a horse simulator, which was an excellent addition in 2016. I'm so glad we got that, because we now don't teach any beginners anymore on horses. They all have to learn on the simulator. We haven't got any space for a club room, a restaurant, or anything like that, but we make full use of all the wonderful facilities on offer in Wimbledon Village: bars, coffee shops, restaurants, etc. We have an amazing community at the stables, and we use Instagram and Facebook to keep connected to our clients, our team, everybody past and present. And we also send out regular newsletters because not everyone does social media. So we do an awful lot for our local community. We feel very proud to be part of it. Our little miniature Shetland Fudge, he visits care homes. We have children who are visually impaired who come to use the simulator. We sponsor many local events and activities. We organise a lot of our events to ourselves, and most of them are for charity. We have an annual sponsored horse ride that my sister and I, Caroline Stevenson, we actually started it when we were still in Pony Club. So this year, unbelievably, it celebrated its 50th anniversary. And that's the photo top left, because it's a fancy dress ride now. We do that to just make it a little bit more fun. And then at the bottom left is a photograph of our annual carol concert, where about 150 people come into the yard. We have to have 2 sittings. It was so popular that we had to create a second show after the first one. The vicar stands up on the balcony. Father Christmas visits. They all have little sort of fake candles that they hold. It's a wonderful, magical event. And as you can see, it's snowing in the yard, but that's not real snow, that's a snow machine. And the children just go wild when that gets switched on. It's lovely. The top right is one of our photograph of one of our, I think, a barbecue that we had in the yard. We have barbecues, pizza evenings, drinks parties, very lovely sociable events. And the bottom right is a picture of our annual charity ball, which is a black tie ball that takes place every year in March at the Hotel du Vin in Wimbledon. So, and you can see in the middle just some of the very many charities that we've raised money for. We also do talks and lecture demos and all sorts of other events for the members, grooming demonstrations, you name it, and we do it. We've had Martin Clunes come to the stables, Claire Balding, Richard Dunwoody, Laura Collett, Mary King, just to name but a few. And in total, over the years, and I'm going back 50 years for Caroline and I, because that was when we started the sponsored ride, we've raised around £1 million for charity. Now, we could never have raised that amount if we didn't have this incredible community that surrounds the stables. And it's the same community that embraces and supports my team. So the initial staffing experience. 44 years ago, finding staff was never a problem. You'd put an ad in Horse and Hound. That was the only place to advertise in those days. And you would literally have 50 people phoning up. You'd have pen and paper by the side of the phone. You'd have to take all of the details. There was no internet in that day, no website. So everything, you'd have to speak to everyone. You'd have to ask them to post in their CV. And you'd go through the very lengthy process of interviewing everyone, and there were excellent applicants in those days. But my goodness, how different things are now. So right now there's a shortage, not just in the horse industry, but actually the whole service industry. There's a sort of crisis finding staff. So therefore retaining staff is the absolute key to every business. But changes are inevitable. Girls start families, people move away, or they just have a different sort of idea of a career they want to follow. And you get approached by someone in the yard, Carol, can I have a word? And you absolutely dread the conversation just because you know how hard it is to find a replacement. I now advertise in Yard and Groom, and I've been lucky to be able to find some great people, but there's definitely not the same number of people applying. And invariably, the candidates are from overseas. Excellent people, but where is our homegrown talent? So I want to share with you some of the things I've done to help create a positive work environment for my team that has enabled me to have very good staff retention. So the evolution of Wimbledon Village Stables, changing with the times. So teaching children used to be a really big part of our income. But because of our location on the major road, as I explained earlier, all our children's ponies would need leading. And our holiday courses were incredibly popular. They were fully booked and incredibly lucrative too. But I made a very brave decision on a very hot summer's day after seeing the team going up and down the road several times all week. And I decided to phase out children's riding and concentrate on adults. Although there was initially a dip in the income, the business soon recovered, and I could see it just made a huge difference to the staff workload and also their morale. I have absolutely nothing against teaching children. I just want to say that at this point, but just mine is not the right location for it. And I would love to open a children's riding school somewhere. I noticed then how hard it was to manage the customers' expectations, prioritizing regular riders over casual ones. People would turn up with booked a ride. They told us they were 8 stone and they were very experienced riders, and they were 11 stone and a novice. And, that used to lead to all sorts of problems for the staff. So in 1999, I completely transformed the business into a membership club. It came to me because I'd signed up at the David Lloyd Gym in Brains Park to pay an ongoing membership, and I just had a eureka moment. I thought my clients can do the same. So from that point onwards, clients signed up to pay monthly, to ride at weekends as a gold member, or to ride on weekdays as a silver member, or occasional riders would be associate members. With a more predictable income stream, I didn't have to worry anymore about meeting the wage bill when there were things like seasonal fluctuations or maybe weeks of really bad weather. The main thing with switching to a membership model is it's really strengthened our sense of community. Clients feel very much more connected to the stables. It's their club. They value the relationships they have built, not just with the team, but also with other members too. It really has created a shared sense of ownership and pride. And really, the most important thing of it all is it's so much nicer for the horses. They have regular riders who really get to know them and who love them and spoil them too. Understanding the modern employee and changing attitudes. So I love all these photos of the team. So whether it's bundling into a car on a hot summer's evening and going to the local river to go kayaking, or maybe they're riding over to the pub for a drink, a barbecue in the yard, or messing around on the horses, it's wonderful to have times when the team get together, and it's really good for team bonding. And not everyone does everything. You wouldn't expect them to, but when they do, it's just good fun, and it's lovely that they all get on so well together. Of course, we wouldn't be in Wimbledon if we didn't take advantage of the tennis. And in Wimbledon Village, everyone goes a bit mad at tennis time. All the shops decorate their shop windows with a tennis theme, and we do the same at the stables. One of our members actually created this wonderful board that we have outside. And our little miniature Shetland, Fudge, he has a tennis outfit which he wears. And all the shops, businesses, pubs, bars, they beg us, please, please, please bring Fudge along for a photo shoot. So, the girls absolutely love it. They'll go along to the Ivy, to the Rose and Crown, or wherever, and sit there with Fudge, maybe being given a drink or two, and just having a lovely time. And the tennis, obviously, we get players who come in to ride. And my usual stance with them is to say, well, my goodness, we are actually fully booked, but if you have any tickets, I'll see what I can do. And invariably, we get some tickets for the team. So they're all on standby to bring their best clothes in so that they can head down to the courts if we get some tickets through. Another rather fun thing about being in Wimbledon Village is the Christmas shopping day, when the horse parade is the highlight of the day, and literally hundreds of people turn up to line the streets and cheer the horses on. It's absolutely fantastic. And the team, they love it having the chance to ride the horses. Now, I do want to say at this point that is not the team dressed up in the elves outfits. That's a local drama group who love to get involved. I don't think I could expect the team to do that really, although I'm sure some of them might want to, I don't know. So they run up with a wave, ringing a bell. Oh, it's really hysterical. We do have a lot of fun whatever time. I mean, Fudge also has a Halloween outfit for Halloween, and if ever there's anything special going on, the England football team are playing, he's out in his little outfit parading up and down. So people today, they do value work-life balance more than ever, and working with horses is rewarding, but it's physically very demanding. These factors influence people's career choices. Because of the membership, I've been able to structure the day and ride times that suit us now. So all our riding is now in the mornings, and the afternoons are for the team to pamper the horses, extra schooling. But more importantly, it means that the team all finish early at a reasonable time every day. And because, of course, they like to go out and have fun in the evenings, and why shouldn't they? Creating a positive work environment is essential for an organised team, and full credit goes to our amazing office manager, Claire. She's worked for me now for 23 years. You get less for murder, she tells me. Anyway, I can't say enough good things about Claire. Here she is in the office, looking after my two little granddaughters while answering the phone, doing the list, and a million other things too. She really is great. And yeah, everybody needs a Claire, is what I'd say. I call her the boss because she actually probably knows more than I do about most things. Oops, sorry, pressed the wrong button. How do I get rid of that? Yeah, in lockdown, we all got very good with these Zoom meetings, but I've completely forgotten how everything works. So I'm terribly sorry if there's a few glitches. Team engagement. So getting the team engaged in the business and the clients is a key to our success. I mentioned earlier some of the events we organise. So on the right-hand side is a photo of the team at the annual charity ball in March, which we hold in Wimbledon. This year, Rolioas came along from World Horse Welfare because we raised money for them, and actually over £12,000 in the end. It really is a fabulous event. I give all the staff free tickets. Everybody absolutely loves getting dressed up. And during the speeches, I always acknowledge our appreciation of the team, and they stand up to a huge round of applause. Standing next to me there is the lovely Kyle. And no, he's not standing on a box. He really is that tall. And on the left-hand side, in the middle in a white shirt, there he is taking part in our sponsored ride. I mean, not everyone has to do all of the things, but they all want to, or most of them want to, and it is really good fun when they get involved. So Kyle, he actually was Peter Crouch. He's an absolute Peter Crouch lookalike. He had all the football gear on, and so many people did a double take when he rode past. It really was hysterical. So Kyle is South African. He came to work at the stables over 2 years ago with the intention of only staying for a very short time. And we're just so lucky that he stayed because he is absolutely great. So we have an awful lot of wonderful South Africans, New Zealanders, Australians, Europeans. We're really multinational at the stables. It's great. So also in this photo at the ball, standing right behind me, is the lovely Nadia. And it was Nadia's birthday recently. And I put a post on social media to wish her a happy birthday. And it's just wonderful when you look at the fabulous comments that come through. Nadia's worked for me for about 15 years now. And Nadia doesn't do Facebook or Instagram. So I was all day long, Nadia, you know, there's another comment. Have you seen what so and so wrote? And it was a wonderful thing for her to see how appreciated and loved she is by everybody. We have a staff WhatsApp group, and whenever we get anything on social media, anything positive, any nice emails we get or letters, not many people send letters these days, obviously, I always share it to the group. It's great that they can appreciate just how flipping wonderful they all are. I probably should say too here all the other things we do for the staff. It's not all about fun and parties. They work a 5-day week, 42 and a half hours in total. They have exam training and exams paid for, a uniform, waterproof coats, holiday entitlement, obviously, more importantly, cover when they're off so the rest of the team aren't stretched, enrolment into the pension scheme, horses to school, a workload shared equally, a generous Christmas bonus, and a fair salary that enables them to be able to afford to live in London, which, as you can imagine, is very expensive. Running a riding school in London is no easy feat, with overheads that are staggering. For instance, we can't buy supplies in bulk, so we pay top dollar for everything due to limited storage. I mean, for instance, our muck, we have to have it removed every day, and that costs £2,000 a month. However, no matter what the cost, the horses will always come first, and I would never compromise on their welfare to save money. This commitment means that I have had to think creatively about how to generate the income needed to maintain the highest standards of horse care for the horses, pay the staff well, and still keep the business viable. I have always wanted to provide the best for my horses, and I think I am. They really are all so incredible, so kind, so safe, so willing, and they look after all our riders so well. So whether it's up the busy road, trotting or cantering around the common, or heading off to Richmond Park with a load of crazy riders on, all dolled up in fancy dress, they really are unbelievable. So looking ahead to the future, so many stables are closing, and while we're all in this together because we love it, it shouldn't come at the cost of our livelihood. I know each of us has our own unique challenges, whether it's high overheads, staff shortages, or competition from lower priced yards, but we're all in this together. You need to value what you offer. I know it's tough when there's pressure to keep prices down, but compromising on quality or welfare isn't sustainable. Some might say we can't charge more because others charge less, but people know quality when they see it. We used to have a stable half a mile from us. They charged half what we charged. We were always fully booked and they weren't. If we want to attract talented people to work with horses, we need to give them a good package and pay what it takes to make this a desirable career. That's the only way stables like ours and yours can stay open for future generations. And talking of which, look at this lovely bunch. So these are my two daughters in the middle with two of my three granddaughters. And they are the future of Wimbledon Village Stables. And, you know, we've got to do all we can and all our very best to make sure that the stables carry on for the next 100 years at least. So thank you all so very much for listening to me. We all want happy horses, a happy team and happy riders. I'd like to thank the ABRS very much for putting on this conference. It was wonderfully interesting with some great content. I hope you've enjoyed listening to me, and please do get in touch with me if there's anything that I can help you with or talk to you about. Thank you. And I can't work out how to switch it off. Right, stop the share and end it. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.